Yo, people, we're back. Yo, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Like, I've literally had a crazy week working, so sorry about not getting the consistent streams out. I got a new schedule lined up anyway for you guys, so we are going to be introducing the boxing content. For those of you like boxing, whoa, UFC, boxing. Yeah, it's been a crazy weekend. But anyway, moving on to United. 0-0 today against Liverpool. I'll be joined by Neji shortly, and we're going to be breaking down what can we achieve this season with the current midfield and attack, because we've currently got an issue with creating and scoring goals. So for people who are going to be entering, watching this, make sure you subscribe to Unleash Sports. Make sure you go down below this video, smash a like on the video. It helps me grow. And yeah, it just helps us get to where we need to be, man. And we can obviously, the more you guys can help me grow, the more I can give back. Whether that's giveaways, whether that's extra content, whether that's studio spaces, etc., etc. But yeah, let me just see where Neji is. Give me 2 minutes, people. 2 minutes. Oh, he's read the message. He'll be in shortly. But yeah, let me know what you thought about the game, man. Excuse me. Let me know what you thought about the game. I think I didn't watch the game. I've got a confession to me. I didn't watch the game. I was at my local amateur boxing show. So I missed the whole game. So I'm going to be relying on Neji's knowledge. But from what everyone tells me, they kind of pinned us back the whole game. I think we all would have taken a draw. Yeah, I think we would have taken a draw. So I'm not sure what the table looks like now. It's a good point. We'll have a look while we're waiting. Let's see where this Neji guy is. Let's have a look. Premier League table. Let's have a look. I feel shameless doing this. We're 7th. Firmly 7th, 1 point behind Newcastle. Okay. So yeah, I think we would have all taken a point in this game. I think we would have been with the current run of form. I think it kind of it I wouldn't say it flatters us, but it's a good result. Like, it's not a good performance from what I'm hearing, but it's a good result. I hear we only had one shot on target, so and a controversial red card at the end. So it's all part of the drama, innit, guys? Give me 2 seconds. Gonna adjust the screen. But yeah, that's kind of what we're kind of have to like take what we get this season. It's one of them kind of seasons, isn't it, where we're not on form at all. We're not scoring goals freely. We're not creating goals freely. So I guess results like this, we just got to take it. If we look at the next run of games for Man United, we have West Ham next week, tough game. Then Villa, tough game, and even Forest away is a tough game. And then Wigan and Tottenham. So with the Tottenham, Forest, Villa, and West Ham, yeah, it's going to be a tough run. But here he is, Mr. Neji. He's finally been found.
We're back.
Even though he's wanted, but he's been found. And yeah, no, I was just basically saying that we would have basically taken a draw. Any United fan would have taken a draw today.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
100%. So I didn't watch the game. I was at the amateur boxing show. Had to support the guys. I was keeping in touch with the scores. Obviously, the Arsenal fans in and around the ring were kind of updating me and that, as they do. Yeah, they don't watch their own team; they watch us. But yeah, no. Give us let's start off with your assessment of the game.
Well, first and foremost, the results always that matters at this stage for me. For Ten Hag, that's the most important. It's turned into a results business quick for him. And to be fair, the 0-0 is a fair result. We didn't do enough. We could have won it in the end with Højlund. We had that one chance. Sometimes every game gives you that one chance when you've been defensive. And it was beautiful play, counter-attack. Anthony, I think, gives it to McTominay, or like a 1-2. McTominay plays it in off Højlund. Højlund tries to hit it with his right foot. I think he just wanted a little bit less weight so he could open up his body and hit it with his left to go on the out far post. But it came on his right. It was a weak shot. Alisson came out straight at the keeper. So that's pretty much the only clear-cut chance we had for me, Leon. And performance-wise, defensively, it was great. We looked solid. Maino was class. He got a yellow card with it, which I thought was an old-school 50-50. And it wasn't even... There was no malice in it. Do you know them proper... Remember them challenges back a day when two players would just go for the same ball 50-50, but they get up and like shake hands and go, yeah, fair play. It was one of them. And Maino got a yellow card for it, man.
That's the game nowadays, isn't it?
It generally killed my spirit, man. That challenge, seeing that, I was like, raw, that got us up on our feet. Even the Liverpool fans, I'm sure they saw that and were like, sick. Do you know what I mean? It's a rivalry, and that just, they pulled the yellow card. I was like, oh, like, this is the game. But anyway, bar that, Maino had a great game. McTominay and Amrabat were great. Well, I'm about as great defensively. By great, I say 7 out of 10. That's when I say great, mine's great as like a 7 out of 10. Do you know what I mean? It's not a worldy 8, 9 out of 10. He was great. He did his thing. But for me, Leon, the bit where the struggle for me was offensively going forward when we had the opportunities to break. We kept giving the ball away. I'm a bat and Scott McTominay's give the ball away. You're countering Liverpool, you're pressing them, and then you didn't have that quality to make the pass into the final third. And it was like a 5-yard pass, 3-yard pass, no creativity for runners. And it was like Højlund was getting nothing. He was making runs. He was getting absolutely zero service. And I could see him getting fed up. And I know no one rates Bruno, that's why I talk about it. That's why I talk about pros and cons to a game. It's okay taking players out of a game. It's okay to have these things, but how are you going to replace the pros of a player? And we had no other players on the pitch that was going to be able to thread those balls through, either from right wing, left wing, or even in midfield when we had those opportunities. So everything is about balance. You have to, a system and profiles will always cover the deficiencies of other players. That's how it's meant to work in this modern day and age. Do you know what I mean? We're not watching the beautiful game no more. It's the robotic game, and every piece has to nullify other pieces so everyone looks like the ballers. That's it. And we don't have that at the moment. So I'm happy with the result. I think the point's perfect. Liverpool fans will be vexed and peed off. But the last thing I will talk about, again, Leon's inconsistencies in referees. Dallo got a red card, which was not, again, 2 yellows. It looked like it was 2 yellows for the same challenge. It was that quick. For the same thing. He got a yellow for kicking off, screaming off, whatever. And then after he got the yellow, he must have had like a little bit of extra chatter at the end of it. Give him another yellow for that. We saw in the first half.
What did he say? What did he say? Did he swear him or something?
No, I don't know. I don't know Portuguese or whatever he was spraying him. But basically, he got 2 yards and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" But first off, Mo Salah fouled the man, kicked the ball away. We've seen how many yells have we seen for that this season? Plenty. Kicked the ball away, descent. But even Garnacho, I think it was last game before, got a yellow card for doing it. And Bruno had to come over and say, "Mate, don't be doing that. It's stupid." So we're asking for consistency, not bias, consistency. Salah got nothing. Darwin Núñez then got booked for pretty much what looked to be a straight elbow to Johnny Evans. Like the ball was coming over the top. He literally looked at Johnny Evans the whole way, barged him. Yeah, fair play, yellow card. Can't be doing that. After that yellow card, he starts clapping the referee. Not only clapping the referee, but then running his mouth for a good 30 seconds. Did not get a second yellow. That's after the challenge. So he's already had a bookable offence for the challenge. And then he's gone and done that and got no yellow card. To me, that's more of a sending off than what we've just seen with Dallo. And this is why we say about inconsistencies in our game and referees. We've got so much ammo this season, last season. Carmelo, I beg, mate, respectfully. Like, you're making the most noise, my friend. Like, it's mad. Sorry about that, people, man. But
you must be agreeing with what you're saying. He's like, yeah.
He's a little hype, man. Little cheerleader and that, man. But yeah, Leon, you know what I mean? Like, we can't be in situations where we're overlooking these situations and decisions because they are having an impact, whether we like or not. They're having an impact on this season as well as the other things that we're highlighting. And it's getting too much now. Because when you start needing results and you start needing these situations, you need these things to go in your way as well, your favour. You need any bit of luck you can get from any angle. And for me, I'm looking at these decisions going, once again, inconsistencies. It's Man United. We'll shit on them because, you know, for whatever reason they've got going on, and cool, we'll keep it at that. So, good result in the end. Performance-wise, I think was better given the fact we were up against Liverpool. I think he tactically got it correct in terms of how he set up. The players actually played for him. It was just the quality on the ball when we did have the opportunities to break Liverpool. Once we'd done all the defensive work, we didn't have it. And, you know, even an Eriksen would have been great.
AG, that's kind of been the story of our season.
Yeah.
Reliant on like one or two just to think, yeah, it kind of has been. Do you know what I mean? So, no, I hear that. Do you know what I mean? It's good for me to get the breakdown, obviously, because I missed the game. But, yeah, I think, to be honest with you, we can sit and moan about like, oh, we didn't get the result, we didn't play better and blah, 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 and that sort of thing. Yeah, but I predicted a 3-1 Liverpool at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, like, we've come out of it, we've got a point. I don't know if this changes really anything. I'm not sure. Maybe it does. Maybe the players, maybe for what you're saying, the players are playing from a bit more. Maybe they get the confidence out of a defensive result like this and they go, well, we know we can defend, so we can kind of do what we did last season. This time, yeah, we can maybe get a goal or two in games, because some of the games have been literally a goal or two and we win it. But yeah, no, we'll see moving forward. I think we'll know by January where we're at I don't think the tough run's over. We've got like West Ham, Tottenham. Well, sorry, West Ham, Villa, Forest, Wigan, and Tottenham. So tough games are coming.
Yeah,
One
we have
thing I
got
was,
some sick games coming, to be fair. It's just, again, this season, Christmas, it's getting some results. Do you know what I mean? And like, again, if you look at the game in isolation, forget the preconceived feelings we've had before the game about managers, players, systems, whatever. Just take the 90 minutes for what it is. Overall, you'd be very, very, very happy with that. You have to be at this stage, given what we know about our season. You can't not. Do you know what I mean? Frustrate Liverpool the way we did, silence the crowd. To be fair, we're looking at getting battered. A lot of people was, and that was not the case today. So we exceeded most people's expectations today with a convincing performance.
okay, fair. So obviously the topic I've kind of said is what can we achieve this season with our midfield and attack, and it's an interesting point to talk about because we carrying on from last season coming into this season, it's the same problems. We don't have people that kind of know. Obviously, like we can touch on, like we don't really have the profiles to fit the system the manager wants, but we don't have like really the profiles to kind of. We have profiles to contain the ball a little bit better, and we have profiles to progress the ball a little bit better. But apart from that, I think that's it. The profiles to actually create and for us to play in the final third effectively, they're not of the quality that we need in this squad. So I think we are always going to struggle. I do feel like the manager can get more out of the players, but ultimately we're not going to be a team this season that scores 3-4 goals a game. So how do you look at what we can achieve this season with the midfield and attack? I feel like for me, the attack has been the big letdown this season. I feel like they are the ones who really need to, because if our midfield was sort of like playing average, which they are, but the attackers were scoring more goals, even if it was 1 or 2 a game, we would be in a different position and we'd feel a lot more confident with United. But we don't know when our next goal's coming. I don't think I've watched United, I don't know if you have, Neji, and had this feeling where we don't know where our next goal's going to come. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I mean, I'll be honest, for me, I have last season, I said about it. This is to the point where I said we don't need a new goalkeeper just yet. Go and put money on going forwards.
I feel like we were going to score goals though last season. Even with Weghorst, I felt like we could still create and hold up and play a little bit better.
58 goals in a season in the Premier League. 58 goals. That was our weakest part.
Shocking.
And this is why I said I predicted, because this is what makes me laugh about the Ten Hag situation, about them lot talking about unwanted. My biggest criticism of Ten Hag is why I got the biggest prediction right about this season. Make that make sense. I made a prediction that was negative based on Ten Hag being naive in the transfer market, because he didn't actually look what the biggest problem was last season, thinking he's going to get more than 2 seasons. Made no sense. The biggest issue last season was not defending, was not creating goals. We actually created a lot of chances to be able to score goals. We weren't scoring goals. And again, the biggest criticism I gave Ten Hag was that he's been naive in the transfer market, thinking he can go and get profiles when he hasn't got the full profiles that he needs to be able to play the way he wants. Now, for whatever reason that is, cool, safe. But the reality is, we didn't bag goals. And if he'd have kept on doing what he did for the first season stylistically, with the 2-6s and then every now and then 1-6, depending on who we're playing, you add goals to that situation, then the next season you're cool. So my biggest criticism of Ten Hag allowed me to reach the biggest prediction that I made. That this season, with the players he's brought in, we'll probably create more goals, but we will concede more goals. And none of that actually matters, because if we're not scoring goals in the first place, but we are conceding more, we're going to struggle more. Therefore, I predicted what? We're taking 3 steps back. And what's happening? Exactly what we're on now. So, for me, Leon,
what do you, just on that point, what do you put it down to? Do you put it, because like, I was speaking about this on Mandem Talk the other day, and I'm speaking to Flawless about this as well, yeah. We don't have a pattern in the way that we attack the goal. So, like, for me, I was about to say a manager, but let's take a manager out of it. Players have to have a default of what they do. I mean, like, I'm sure most basic coaches will say, if the worst comes to the worst, go down the byline, pull it back, and somebody will be in the penalty box or arriving into the box state. But we don't. It's a quality issue, isn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, I think the guy. What do you put it down to? Do you put it down to they're not good enough. Let's be honest, they're not good enough. Like from what they actually produce, I think most of them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
why
I
do you
think that's
think
a fair
they
thing.
can't do the basics of like? Because I feel like, let's take Hoyland for example. Yeah, I've spoken recently on Hoyland quite a lot, and people have been on at him and saying he needs to do a lot better. I know Traps was saying before, like, oh, he needs to really step his game up rare, and I had to stop him and sort of say, like, well, bro, respect your opinion, but I just feel like if I'm Hoyland right now, there's no pattern to the way that I make my runs, knowing that a player is going to be there. If you watch like a Pep team, if you watch most teams play, the striker knows if he arrives on the penalty box, near post, far post, he knows the ball is going to come in there at some point or played through to him. But we attack the goal 20 different times in a game, and there's no consistency to
There's
the
no
pattern.
consistency.
That's what I see. So do you put it down to these guys are not doing the basics? Do you feel like the manager, and this is not just to blame the manager, do you feel like the manager's trying to show them an attacking way they cannot understand? Like what do you kind of look at it when you're watching the game?
I mean, for me, from what I understand, Ten Hag's trying to do, and this idea that he hasn't got a style of play is ridiculous. When people say there's a style of play, they expect to give it a name, like there's a name for it. Like Pep Guardiola was given tick attacker. It's not tick attacker, is it? Respectfully, because there's a lot more to just being on the ball and passing around. There is a standard system of what he's trying to do. But what I am able to see what he's been trying to do with the players, which was working with the first 5 games respectfully, regardless of results, was the fact that he's trying to win the ball high up in the final third. Hence why he has 2 8s pressing like mad, workhorses.
Well, just on that one, hasn't the stats proved that this season that we have been doing that?
That we have been doing that up until a certain point, and it's regressed as we've gone. And I think that's because results and obviously the pressure and everything else. Because again, once results don't happen, you then got to have the mentality to maintain that. It happens with every manager, regardless of what this style they play. The players do down tools. It is what it is. But getting to that stage where you're able to press the ball high in the final third, and then it's literally like freestyle football. Ultimately, the individual has to have the quality to make the right choice and decision.
That's it.
Have to have the right decision to make the right choices. I'll set you up to win the ball back in this way, and this is what we do off the ball. When we win it on the ball, these are the type of options you want. But what I am going to do is give you an overload in the final third of multiple options. So you'll always have your 2-8. You'll have your wing backs who will always be a safety option to regurgitate on the outside. You have your 2-8s going in out, your strikers, and then you got your 1-6 who's going to be on the edge of the area, being able to spray and ping.
So his thing is wingers invert, fullbacks go on the outside.
Yes, so you have an overload in the box, which then cramps all them in, and then your wingers on the outside, which then pulls them back out. You then swing the ball back in. You then got opportunities.
So are you about to say that Ten Hag gives them the platform, but it's really up to the players what they do with that platform
in the final third?
Do you not feel like because he's a tactical guy, and we've got Benny McCarthy, do you feel like there's not drills, or do you think it's more like you guys kind of do what you think's best in that scenario?
It's a give and take, so it's a both things at the same time. It's not a case of you do it alone on your ones. He'll position you to a point. You can't position you all the way up to the goal line till you kick the ball over the net. You can't do that. You can take it so far.
I mean, I remember playing with coaches even Sunday League, and they'll be like, right, one of you needs to arrive back post, one of you needs to arrive penalty spot. Do you know what I mean? Like in certain
that would only matter depending on how can I put it? That would only matter based on quality of the player and how they play, and also how you're playing. So if you're an old school manager and you're whipping balls in, I need you here when balls are being delivered. Cool. That's not what he's playing. He's trying to break lines. If you're winning the ball back and you're being sporadic, you're waiting for those killer passes straight for the lines in middle, and then you overload.
But
you see what's good.
Are you saying that's what you think he's trying to do?
That in my opinion, based on what I
don't see that. I don't see him playing through the lines. I think we've only scored goals through the lines in a very handful out of like maybe half a year.
I'm not saying you see it. I'm saying that's what he's trying to do. There's a difference. So that's the idea, but being able to execute it is a different thing. And that's what I'm trying to say. The first 5 games, it was quite prevalent what we were trying to do. And you can see the setup. Now what we're seeing is, if you see most of our attacking options, when we've got the ball and we're on the edge of the box, you'll see the 6 line. You'll see 6 players. 5 at times if someone's like, moving out of position.
Run. We don't have people. That's what makes.
But then, this is what I'm trying to say. So when you look at the profiles that he's got in those situations, right? The Bruno's the situation, the Mount situation. They're the 8s. They're actually they should be more of a goal threat based on the system of what he does. And we saw it with Mason Mount when he started to play in pre-season. Of course, he missed that sitter, but the positions he was arriving in, in and around the areas. He had so much space to be able to go and finish.
What do you mean, like late and
yeah, like late to the box? Yeah,
because
defenders got pushed back so much that the eights then had space on the edge of the box to be able to go, right, I can take a shot off you. And that was tend to be what it is because we've pulled them out wide. But what's happening is with your striker at the moment, Højlund, if you ain't got, and again, we're not, most of the time we aren't in these situations, well, from what I'm seeing anyway, where that scenario is happening more often now. It's getting less and less per game. But in the first 5 games, it was prevalent. This is why I think we were top in the league for Bulls winning the final third, most chances created in the final third from it. So it was, the foundation from it was there, but we weren't finishing our chances, Leon, if you remember the Tottenham situation. Yes, the handball messes up, but we weren't finishing. And in order for something to be complete, you need to get the result in the end. Regardless,
to build the confidence,
to go, this is working.
Trying to apply, okay.
And this is, to say this is naturally working. Look, it's working.
So when does it come back where you go, right, the confidence isn't there, so I'm now going to kind of simplify what we do? Because one of the things that I want to pick off what you've said, that I want to play devil's advocate with is you're saying like play through the lines and stuff like that. I agree with the loading at the top of the box because I do see that there's always options that when a winger steps in, there's always somebody there at the top of the box. That's one thing that is evident for us. Whether the quality or chances or goals end up high enough, there is always somebody there or somebody arrive, or even if it doesn't make that player, there's always a defender just over halfway line to recycle. That recycle ball we've seen a lot. Do you know what I mean? That's where like Anthony and stuff. But like Sabitzer used to do last season, I don't see many players because that's my game. I'm a very like I play 5-a-side and I'm a very simple baller. I kind of wait on the last man sometimes when I can. And I'll just keep making them runs. Or sorry, if I ever say don't wait on the last man, it's free roam. But I kind of 11-a-side used to make them runs, even if it's to drag a defender up. But I don't see our guys doing that basics. I don't know whether they're a Rashford or Garnacho and they're evident on just wanting to shoot all the time. I don't know whether I don't see guys doing the bit that the midfielder needs you to do and just peel off and make. I don't
exactly that.
I don't know why I don't see that. Yeah.
And this is why I spoke about the system being so important. When I looked at Anthony, brought him like again off the ball. Everything he does off the ball is great. On the ball, he's not great. He's lacking in certain areas of his game. We saw today. I mean, you didn't watch the game. We saw today. He had a chance to go past Simicast, I think his name was, and he used his left foot on the outside to hit it and dribble past. I'm thinking, touch it with your right and you're good. And the one time he went to his right hand side, he sent Simicast to the shop. And then we were inside there, and he put the ball on his right hand side, and Simicast went straight left because that's what he normally does. But we don't see it enough. But off the ball, the shape. That's what I'm trying to say. The discipline and the shape. If you understand the manager, and yes, there's method to the madness. He's a bit of a mad scientist, cool. But then you look at why he brings these players in, and it's got nothing to do with the overall game on the ball. But as United fans, we want to see that, and sometimes it's good to understand that what we want is necessarily what the manager's going to do. Because he's got his own style and philosophy. What's first? What's the fundamentals he wants first? The rest is a bonus. So the creative aspects and everything else, he seems to not care whether he doesn't go on the outside and start dribbling down. He loves the left foot. He likes his wingers to be stronger with the inner foot. And this is why I said when he came, I said Diallo would be perfect for him. He loves his right winger to be strong on the left foot because he has to cut in. The fullbacks go inverted. The wingers will stay wide. And then what will he do? He'll come around the outside. The inverted fullback will then go to his position out on wide, take a defender away. Other player comes in, drags out players.
What? So do you think he's trying to create shots from near the top of the box? Because that's a lot.
Not. Well, again, whether someone shoots or not is based on. I mean, seeing Anthony have the opportunity to do that quite a lot. But what I'm saying to you is the patterns in terms of pulling out defenders, making the move until there's a gap, and then your 8 will capitalize. Your striker may capitalize, or you may get a bit of individual brilliance. And if you look at one of probably the best teams in Ajax, when they were scoring most of their goals, when they were overloading, you can see the patterns and movements are very similar. Now, in order to be able to do that, like I said, the profiles have to be bang on. But right now, you've got you got a winger in Rashford who's, in my opinion, I mean, he's on 3 assists this season, which isn't great, but he's learning to now go on the outside and whip balls in or slap balls in the box, which he's tried a lot to do, but he's struggling. Because it's not his game. Respectfully, it's not his game.
Yeah. Because even the
way
he crosses the ball,
I'm not saying he's great. I'm just saying.
No. But even the way he crosses the ball, he shoots when he crosses. He just
it's not great. So it's not a profile he needs now. Whether he's playing him because he's massive asset to Man United, which he is commercially and everything else. There could be something in that. But at the same time, he can't get rid of him. And he's got to use him somehow. He likes Garnacho because he's direct and goes inside and outside. But also at the same time, he's got the ability, the raw ability, in my opinion, to hold down that position more. Because yes, he goes outside on his left, but he will cut on his right most of the time and come inside, similar to Anthony. Rashford will do that 100%. But the other parts of his game he doesn't have, especially the fundamentals like the work rate, the movement off the ball, loses the ball, get back in position. So if you've got players that aren't willing to do the basics, then players who aren't as good as you or have more ability than you, but do the basics will get played. And sadly, we will lose out on quality, but he would rather lose out on quality than have his fundamentals not being shown on the pitch.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And this is the madness with Ten Hag.
Well, here's my thing, yeah. Here's my thing. Just starting this. Here's my thing.
Yeah, go on, bro. Yeah.
When comes the player's perspective and their ability where they go, right, the manager wants me to play this system, da-da-da-da. The manager's looking at them like as if to be like, oh, I know this guy can play the system but not produce the quality on a consistent basis. It might just be moments and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Say that again. Sorry. Give me
so for example,
give me a scenario.
So obviously, like for example, like McTominay in the 10 or whatever. Yeah, let's just use him as an example. Yeah. So you might say, I want my 10 to be a bit of a goal threat and to try and progress the ball forward. That's kind of probably what he's thinking when he plays McTominay. I want to be able to progress the ball forward, be physical, be a bit of a goal threat. That kind of thing there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He knows that he doesn't want to compromise his fundamentals in the system, the way he likes to play, just like you just said. But he also knows the quality's not there with the player who might not produce as much as a Bruno or an Eriksen who can play in that role, or potentially a Donny, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
Is the emphasis on the players to be like, right, you need to then do the basics. You're a footballer. You're a professional footballer. You need to be able to then do the basics, even if it's just a give and go, find someone around the corner. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you put that down to him where it's like you're naive because you're not understanding this guy can't fulfill the role that you need him to fulfill. So you should play the quality guy, or do you put it down to, no, you're a pro footballer. You should be doing a lot better here.
I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think it's one or the other. I think it'd be very arrogant and ignorant to think it's only one of those things. So I think it all goes hand in hand. I think primarily it's a case of do the basics, do the fundamentals, like run your ass off, work hard for the badge, no matter who the manager is. For the fans, you do that. Stick to the system and the plan we're doing. Stick to it. Don't down tools on it. But then after that, it then comes down to the manager. Go, well, okay, you're not dropping players. You've got your favourites. Cool. Really and truly, I need you to do X, Y, Z. And you know what, Leon? When he says about players had a good game, I don't think he's looking at it from what they did on the ball. I think he's looking at it from
how they fulfilled this.
Yes, they fulfilled what I wanted.
I thought a while ago. Yeah, I thought that was.
Yeah, and I think people are misunderstanding his comments in press conferences without the understanding.
He's doing it to try and build confidence as well.
Yeah, I think that's an element. I think the baseline of it personally is,
because let's just say they train well but they play okay. Is like, I can't really just say they play rubbish, because then all that building up in the week confidence.
Yeah.
So
you've got to be smart.
I'm not saying I agree with that, because some of that I disagree with. Do you know what I mean? I think but at the same time, I get it. I think we're on the same wavelength there.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that the fan base are looking at his comments when he's saying I've performed well, when really we know we didn't look great. But I think from his ideas, looking at individuals going, you did what I wanted you to do there, and it's like it's not surface level for him. And I think he doesn't realize how we see things. And like we said, him getting his message across, of course, his English isn't great. We know that. So it can always be misled no matter what. And it can, again, his tone is very Sergeant-esque, very just assertive. It is what it is. That's the how can I put it? That's the vibe he gives. So that's what people are going to go off naturally, and you can't disrespect that. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. He's gonna hold smoke for that, because we have a misunderstanding as well. But overall, when I look at him, I have to look at him and go, bro, you still gotta find a way to switch up slightly every now and then. And respectfully, he's dropped Rashford 3-4 games in a row now. He's had that moment where he wasn't even doing the fundamentals. Now that tells me a lot. If you're not doing the basics, rude boy, you ain't starting. Regardless of your talent, regardless if you've got goals in you, I don't care. So once they stop doing that, it's cool. But then the flip side to it, Leon, is there's some players he probably can't even do that with because he actually loses more than just that, even if he sticks to some of those principles and morals. So we haven't got the quality to replace. And some players bring more than others, and some players bring things that others can't. So then he's got a new dilemma to go, well, for example, what if Bruno doesn't work hard, which is never going to happen, but Bruno doesn't work hard, for example, hypothetical. I've got to drop him. However, how am I now going to I'll be presented with a new problem and go, well, how can I get creativity within this team? Where can I do it? Am I going to have to change a lot more in terms of the way I play, everything else? And how long is that going to take for me to do that, to make that consistent, when really I'm only dropping him because of this? You know what? It is what it is. I'm going to have to play him. And these are the small scenarios that happen with certain decisions, which I think very much overlooked. And it's very difficult to be consistent when you're getting these scenarios and problems when it's a case of it's a catch-22 no matter what, and you've got to be really careful and balanced. So you can go, with Rashford, it's a case of, like we saw it with Rashford about 3 games ago before he dropped him, was like, we believe in Rashford, he's got an opportunity to, to still score goals, he's a top player, That's the kind of, bro, I need you to do a little bit more because...
Yeah, I think he's trying to motivate and say, you can still be a star, I need you this season. He's trying to motivate.
Yeah, but it's ran out of patience. Now he's gone actually taken up
I'm
that
glad, I'm glad he finally made that change. Just going to stress this comment quickly.
Yeah,
Varane man of the match. Would you agree with Varane man of the match?
Respectfully, I wouldn't you know what it is with Varane? By the way, to answer the question bluntly, I would say yes, Varane could be man of the match, in my opinion.
What would you say, Maino?
No, I would have gone Luke Shaw. I think he's absolutely outstanding today. Especially on that left, it was such a breath of fresh air. But
he locked up Salah.
I wouldn't say locked up, but he nullified him a lot, man. Like, Salah hardly did anything. And the time Salah was dangerous was when he was away from Shaw, like off a counter, or Shaw was out of position because of the counter where, do you know what I mean, he's recovering and whatever. Yeah, I thought Shaw, but again, I wouldn't say no to Varane. I just think the Varane situation, because people wanted him to play so bad and he had such a good game, is kind of added, see, he's man of the match because do you know what I mean? It's not like there's a bit of bias because people love Varane and he wanted to be on there as if to say he's man of the match. However, put that aside, his performance was, in my opinion, immaculate. So I'm not going to argue if someone says Varane man of the match. I think more than likely deserved it. And if he gets it, I ain't kicking off, bro. Like, of course, he smashed it today. Varane, Luke Shaw, Kobe Mino, for me, absolutely impeccable. Like, them, and even Amrabat defensively, quality, just on the ball, like I said at the start of the stream, on the ball, just not good enough, man. But yeah, them 3. Onana, even today's kicking was suspect to a degree, but Kobe Mino was the one picking up. I noticed Kobe Mino was the one he was trying to find. And Kobe Mino was the one bringing the ball down. Remember I was saying to you, we've got no outlets for these kickers when he's kicking. So we lose the ball anyway. More time when Kobe Mino chested the ball down, controlled it, dealt with it, like gives an opportunity to break in the final third. And it was just so, how can I put it? It was so nice to see, but I want to see more profiles for that. So Ronaldo can get more of the praise for what we brought him in for. And this is what I'm saying. I'm just hoping Ten Hag gets a bit more time to get these profiles in, because I do think there'll be light at the end of the tunnel. It can't stay dark. The storm doesn't last forever, but you have got to get through it, in my opinion. But
if he gets the time, that's it, bro. I hear you. I get it. Do you know what I mean? I hear your perspective. He's also said Mino's a generational talent. We need to hold on to him. Can imagine him at Madrid and Barca. Yeah, I think with Mino, his maturity for his age and his decision making and how cool he plays the game, I'm all for it. I think this kid's special. I just think I think Ten Hag's actually managing him quite well. That's one of the positives we spoke about in the previous show about that. What is he doing right and what's he doing wrong and stuff like that. So yeah, man, big up Mino. I think he's showing what he can be, but we can't put all the hopes on him. That's what ruins players. So I think that just let him play his game, but he looks good, and I like the fact he's playing him and Amrabat. I've been shouting out for that. Young Wizard said if Ten Hag wasn't so stubborn, he'd bring back Sancho. Anthony on the right wing is not it, and Palestri needs to go on loan. I think I'll do this comment backwards. Palestri going on loan, we can't afford that right now. We're so desperate for anything to fill that position. Even when Ahmad comes back, I would see Ahmad on the left or Palestri on the left. I would rather see, if Rashford's not playing well, a couple of them playing with Højlund, because I know they'll give the striker more service. Sancho's been a big miss this season. Huge miss. The way he links up play, how clutch he is in front of goal. I mean, would you agree, AG? He's been a big miss.
I think his talent has, but in terms of his attitude and his output, I don't think it has. And like I said, if you ain't going to do the basics, your talent means nothing at Man United, in my honest opinion. And you can talk about talent all day as if it's FIFA. Like, as soon as you put him on the pitch, you can do certain things. The reality is the player has to move himself. And he's had some moments where you can see what he can bring. And I think that's what is gassing people up. And I respect that because that's what gasses me up about him. But what I don't rate is this notion that you're going to bring someone back who puts a statement out saying, I'm still going to be Man United through and through, and then can't even hold his tongue. If you're putting Man United over anything, that means you're putting it over a situation. Then you know what? You took your tongue in just to go, just want to play football anyway. So even if I say sorry and I'm not sorry and I don't mean it, I've said it safe. Make him think that I'm cool. Let me just play my game, switch it off, get a move when you want to get a move, but put the club first. Like, get out there, go play. But do I think he's going to have the right attitude and mentality to go play? No, I don't. And again, there's previous reports that think that he can do that. So yes, when he's playing, if he has a poor game or poor 10 minutes, do you really think he's got the mentality to go, let me switch on, let me work hard? I don't. So what's the point in putting him on the pitch now? At this stage, it's too late. It's too late.
Oh, to bring him back now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think we'll probably have to agree to disagree on this one. I'm not going to judge the full Sancho situation because I haven't heard his side. So I'm not going to talk too factual on what I think. I can just give
do you not see his report?
What?
What he came out with, like when he challenged, like literally the day after.
What when after the Liverpool game, after the Arsenal game, and he put the thing online?
That's his side, isn't it?
I'm not going to judge it too much till I hear properly his side because I don't think that's his full side. Because at the end of the day, the manager had a choice how deep to go into the conversation about Sancho, and he chose to go deeper than.
Nah, he didn't go deep, bro. Nah, don't say that.
No,
he didn't even go deep. He made one sentence.
In my opinion, he had a choice of what wording to use, and I think that as a man manager, this is just my thing. At the same time, I'm not judging Ten Hag or Sancho because I haven't heard the full both sides. The example I always use is in boxing. Conor Benn's been accused of taking, I think it's like a female hormonal drug, basically, which is basically when you take anabolics or when you take some sort of like steroids or performance enhancing, you put it in your system to flush it out. So, for example, when this is going a bit off topic, when you have the testing companies come around to your house, they come up to 11 at night, and then they come back at 7 in the morning. Between 11 at night and 7 in the morning is when they can't go to your house and test you randomly. Yeah, so people use it to flush out in that time period. Do you know what I'm saying? He's been accused of taking that. I can't judge Conor Benn because he hasn't said his full side. His reports haven't come out, and he's been adamant, and he hasn't been banned by the boxing board. So I can't judge it. It's the same with Sancho. Bring it back to this. I can't judge it because I've been in workspaces where people. I'm going to use this as an example and not fact. I've been in workspaces where maybe there's a person, maybe Ten Hag is the personality where like he kind of is a bit patronizing or it doesn't talk to you in the way that you best respond to. And I want to big up Aaron Kaya for saying this one was on Mandem Talk, that certain managers don't know how to talk. And I'm saying this is fact, I'm just using this as an example. Certain managers don't know how to talk to young players. Now, talking to me and you, Neji, and having that conversation, you're not training hard enough, I might be like, fuck you. I might think, do you know what I mean? I might think, F you, bro. But I'm going to train harder. Whereas the youths, they respond in a different way.
I understand that. And I agree with it, but I don't think that was. I think
to my point quickly, I can't fully judge the scenario, but playing devil's advocate, I can't comment on his attitude because I don't know whether Ten Hag has gone against his principles and whether he spoke to him in a way where he's like, I don't agree, I don't care what you say, because I've been in workplaces where people have spoke to me in a way and I'm like, I don't care what you say, mate. I'm not interested now.
No, I understand that, but
you've done it in a scenario with a group of people around, and you've done it to the public when we could have had that one-on-one conversation. So
here's the pushback. Yeah, when you listen to what he said, the way in which he's answered, there was genuine, no malice whatsoever. It was just training. That was it, and it's been blown out as if it's been, I've been aired out, and that's in my opinion, it's been a mountain's been made out of a molehill by not us, but. Well, not by him, sorry, by the media, by Sancho himself, because he's got in his feelings. Now, I agree with the young people get triggered differently. I get that. Not an issue. But when you actually look at the intent in his words, his tone, the way he said it, it was just another comment. And, wait there. Ten Hag is very misunderstood because of the way he talks. They did it with
he's got that kind of tone where he's
they did it with Casemiro as well when he spoke about us wanting to play football. People acting like he was trying to throw Casemiro under the bus. He didn't. Again, it's a privileged thing we do as British people when we hear foreigners talk and we assume that we can just look past their dialect, their context, the fact that it's not their first language, and then go in as if to say, "I want to make something out of this." We do it so blindly; it's horrendous. It's like this privileged judgment of he's having this angle on this man, when really, when he's made the comments about football, if you break it down respectfully, he's probably talking about tactical. I want to play more football in his tactical way, trying to change his tactics. That's probably what he's referring to, more than likely, as opposed to I'm throwing him under the bus. Why would he throw someone under the bus who's just bought, who's had a great season for him? He needs him. It would make no sense.
I don't think it's thrown under the bus. My thing is, obviously, you said that he said it in a tone that's this, but we don't know what's happened previously on the training ground.
No, I don't know that. But
so, for example, if he's been on at him in front of people, or let's just say like there's a scenario where he's saying you're not training hard if you're not doing this, There's a few scenarios here, He was played all preseason as a false nine, then he was dropped. I don't get that. I really don't understand that. I really don't get that, yeah? And then, because it's like, even if he was there to fill in, you've basically wasted him for preseason because you played him in a position he's not going to play within the season, which it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Well, to be fair, you can have to sort with the situation. You can have situations where you have an idea, you play it, you like it, but then go back on yourself. Is that a mistake? It's a different question, but that can happen. That's normal.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't get it. I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Ten Hag will come out and clarify that in the future. I don't understand that. Yeah. So then, let's just say then after that he's saying to him, "You're not training well," and he's looking across the pitch and he's like, "But you're not saying that to the guys that are putting in less effort than me, the guys that are not performing to the level that I'm performing on the pitch." So then, when he comes out on top and says blah blah blah, it could be not. This is what I'm saying. It could just be not just that time that he said it in the press. It could be leading up. This could have been led up.
Could have been a build up. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say to you. So I can't judge really Sancho fully and just put my hat on. His attitude's not good. He's done this at previous clubs because I don't know the full context of the thing. Probably I don't know whether Sancho would just say nobody
it when he knows. Respectfully, nobody knows the full context.
So that's why I don't listen. I don't take in when people and this is not a dig at you, but I don't agree 100% with people that are just like Ten Hag said this. He should have done this. Should do this just to play around. Because I've been in scenarios in workplaces where other people would respond differently to the way I've been responded to. I've been in offices where the bosses have digged me out in front of people and I'm not having it. And other people are, "Oh, Leon, you don't have to go around." I'm not having it. And I just get in that.
No, I'm not on this. Okay, I understand. I'm not saying that's not the situation. No, I get that 100.
So I'm not counting that's not this scenario. So
yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. This scenario is not that. And I've genuinely looked at it objectively. And again, when this first came out, I've looked at.
But why did he have to go into so in depth at the game? Why didn't you just say, "Well, that's
he didn't go in depth"? That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't go in depth.
But why did he have to mention training? He could have just said less.
No. He was asked about Sancho, so he just said, "Oh, it's training." That was it. He's calm. This is my point. People have. I don't know where this idea that he's just gone bang. He's gone. It's because it's been blown. Again, I'm stepping back, looking at the situation, going, and I'm putting my professional head on you. Bear in mind, think about it. I work with these young people.
Okay, all right.
Right. So I'm looking at it.
I got one more thing just on this then. So why didn't he reinforce it with a positive at the end then? That's what my thing is.
Yeah, and again, that's fine. I'm not.
He's training, but I believe he can get.
But I'm not sitting here saying he was great for doing that. What I'm saying is what's been said has been blown out of proportion.
Okay.
When this first came out, I looked at Ten Hag and said, to be fair, I feel like I understand your angle, but you're quite naive in the media and how we are as British people, because people are going to take that and go, "Yeah, mate, you've been a bit under the belt there." I just knew it as soon as he said it. And I didn't believe he had any malice behind it. Therefore, his intentions weren't to do that. However, Sancho's taken how he's taken it, and then it's escalated, and then it's been Ten Hag versus Sancho. The reality of the situation is, right, in my honest opinion, he could have gone about that different. Anyone could have. But do I believe he had negative or ill intentions to throw him under the bus? No, I do not. And because I don't believe his intentions are pure, even though you can make mistakes, again, so many humans out there make mistakes, but with good intentions. And I've seen managers literally 3-4 weeks after, right? It was funny. I remember on Twitter, Pep Guardiola came out about one of his signings and actually went in on a player as if to go, yeah, he's not able to pass, he can't do da. No one said a word.
Didn't he do it on? Was it on Ake? He went in on somebody. I think it was Ake.
I think it was a new signing. The new signing.
Oh,
sure,
Doku.
it was.
I think it might have been Doku. Yeah.
Someone.
I remember that. I remember he went in on somebody. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, but the reality is, he's gone in with intent to highlight someone with chest as a manager because he knows he can do it. At United, you can't do that because we've got mentalities that don't allow that. We are player power led. So yes, you've got to be smarter to go, I've got to work myself out of this situation to get these players on side so I can get rid of them later on.
My point the other day was, and I've got a really thin squad, so I've got to be careful because certain players are going to be...
correct. And he has, and this is what I'm trying to say. I didn't back Ten Hag with what he said, but what I'm pushing against is this narrative that he went out to get Sancho. He's this back. He was rude. He was degrading. He went in. He didn't. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and lie about somebody. Like, let's use the facts that are there that we can clearly see. Let's just use some common sense.
He said what he believed, basically. He said what.
Yeah, and he's been consistent with, in my opinion, he's been consistent with situations where it's been a situation with other players and gone, yeah, it's this. Now, in my opinion, he's still trying to adapt and learn about how to work this media because he's clearly seeing that how he's moving ain't working. He's clearly seeing that. And then you start seeing the false comments and it's like, well, then you get, then you get people like Musa, shout out to Musa, well, I want to see consistency from you. I want to stick to what your morals are. Well, you can't have both now. We can't sit here and go, you got to deal with this different if that's how you normally are and have been since your whole career and it's worked. And then all of a sudden, I now need to switch up how I talk about my players to keep them on side.
I think that comment comes from you're praising so many people who are not playing well, and then so I kind of get that.
That comes down. That's subjective if you're playing well, because in his eyes, again, not me, in his eyes,
it's like, I'll play Rashford regardless of his form, and then it's like this guy's not training well. It's like it doesn't really add up. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, but he's mentioned players. He's mentioned again, and this is the funny thing about Sancho. He never actually made a comment about player performance on the pitch in terms of in games is the reason why people start. He made it about training. So if you're training well, that's it. And people tried to make that comparison with Sancho and Rashford. And I said, well, Rashford's actually we've seen Rashford train. We know he puts a shift in, but his confidence is when shit hits the fan on the pitch, he's struggling. There's a big difference. So if we're being very accurate and very fair, which I think is fair to use the facts if they present themselves, his whole notion of players starting comes with what happens on the training field. And then whether they express it on the field or not is a different story. Now, take Rashford's situation. I believe he should have been dropped a long time ago anyway. We all did. We all had this conversation because his performance was awful. However, he's persisted because he's seen what he's seen on training. That's not him going against his morals. But we've had this idea that also applies to Sancho. Well, he's never actually drilled Sancho for what he's done on the pitch. It's what he's doing off the pitch. So it's not wrong to maintain those standards.
And you're also saying as well that it's not necessarily you agree that it's just that's what you see. That's what it is.
That's what I see. Yeah.
Because obviously for me, I would push back if I was with Ten Hag now, and I'd be like, well, doesn't it count on? Like, obviously, I know you want him to train well, but if he's performing better on the pitch than others, then he should be. But I think we can go into this one for a bit.
Yeah, you go back and forth for days.
Yeah, man. Exactly. I think with the Sancho thing, I just can't. Me personally, guys, everyone that's watching. Oh, by the way, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe as well. Thanks for looking. I appreciate it, man. We appreciate you. And make sure if you go below, Naji's link to his Instagram's below as well. The man is multi-talented model. Yeah, you tell them what you do, bro. Man. You do all sorts, bro. Do you know what I mean? DJ, model, everything. Content creator.
And everything, man. Everything and everything. I'm out here, man. I'm out here, people, man. But yeah.
Questionable dancer, all sorts, man. Do you know what I mean? So it's one
of them. Questionable dance. Listen, I got moves.
This guy in there, so.
You never see it. Listen, do you know my pops? You know my pops is, bro. You've seen him move. You really think I could grow up in a household?
I'm not sure, man. I don't know. I'm not sure what genes you got, but it's one of them, innit?
Mad. You don't think my Marge could dance either?
No, but sometimes you just get, that stiff uncle or something, or the stiff aunt. Sometimes you don't know, man. It happens, innit? Fuck this. But yeah, I think I try to the older I get in life, I try to see the full facts before I make a.
And that's fair.
And that's not a popular opinion. When I talk about boxing and Conor Ben, no, he would have to eat 30 eggs a day to have that in his system. And I'm like, bro, but I've not heard his side. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know whether his nutritionist didn't check what was on the ban list and gave him a supplement or something that had. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know what's happened. Yeah.
The thing is, we're having conversations. We've got to be mindful. We're having conversations on ifs and buts and maybes, and then the odd facts that we can go off. But until you get a full picture, you can't.
Exactly.
So it's intelligent guesses and intelligent theories at this point. That's it.
I think we could just both agree that it's a shame that Sancho's not playing because I feel like he
And I would agree because we need his talent.
Yeah, and I feel like
100%.
him and Hoyland would be beautiful this season.
It would happen 100%. Especially again, like Anthony, not, but I'd prefer him on the left personally, Sancho. So I just think he'd work that side so much better.
On the left.
No, Rashford on the left, he cuts in on the right, and then your fullbacks do what they're doing.
Sancho on the left, you're saying basically.
Sancho on the left, and then Amad Diallo on the right for me personally. But
that's hard. That's hard-bodied. Adam Starr says, "Was Bruno a benefit to us today? Was no Bruno a benefit for us today?" Sounds like in hindsight, it would have been a benefit from what you've told me.
For today's game, based on the setup,
to be honest. So
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. Based on today's games, bro, like the defensive work, what we put in, yes, massively. But like I said, where there's pros and cons to losing out qualities of players. Every player has pros and qualities. And respectfully, defensively, and I've always banged on about this, whether man wanted to hear it or not, Bruno defensively has been impeccable for us this season. Whether we've seen it, I've even had to highlight it in our group chat. Say, make sure you know what he's just seen in the first 5 minutes, tracking man down, running 70 yards. So the work rate again is there. You could replace that work rate if that was McTominay. You can do that defensively. Going forward, we struggled to be able to create in the final third that one through ball you needed to go into the final third to at least start something. We didn't have it. Amrabat lost the ball. McTominay was sloppy. And it was like, you can start to see it. So, yes, today I think defensively we look better with him. And we look like we're more controlled. I'd say compact. We're more compact in midfield. We're hard to break down. And I respect that. But we need creative outlets. And if we haven't got them on the wingers, sadly, you're going to have to run with Bruno until you got them on the wingers at least somewhere.
Well, just to add to that as well, I think Bruno is one of the only players in our team that can see things before they happen sometimes. He can read where
he's
a ball where a striker runs to.
High IQ.
Yeah, so I think questionable. And we'll leave the IQ one. Yeah, another show. But I get what you're saying in some areas. Yeah, I think in some areas, yes. Yeah,
I think the difficulty is when people say high IQ is and also being able to execute. There's a difference between having high IQ and seeing something and then being able to execute. There's a difference.
Yeah,
big difference. He sees things. That means his high IQ is kicked in. So if he sees something that's on, his IQ's kicked in, that's complete. Whether he executes it or not, that's the difference. Because you don't need it's not IQ for execution, it's an ability thing. That's the difference.
I would say is a lack of self-awareness at times showing that you've got IQ. But that's what I'd push back on that one and say sometimes. But obviously we do the Bruno.
Yeah, we'll have that convo.
You could do the Bruno debate.
Yeah.
Healthy. Ten Hag shouldn't have called out Rashford, Sancho in public. We've kind of gone through this, and you shouldn't have tweeted it both regardless. I respect your opinion, young wizard, on that one. I think me and Neji have both shown ours. Both are wrong, but it's a bit of a Mexican standoff. Shame because the team is better with him regardless. We've kind of said that, to be honest with you. Obviously threw Sancho under the bus, blah blah blah. You can't say it's disrespectful for someone and not. This is my point here. You can't say what is disrespectful or not for someone. What is disrespectful for you may not be as disrespectful for others. But yeah, I don't want to go too much because we're going to find out eventually who it was. It was Nunes apparently. So it was Nunes that Pep went in on.
Nunes, yeah, there you go. Nunes. Yeah, appreciate that, Micah. Was it Micah?
Yeah, Micah. Sorry,
yeah, shout out to Micah, man.
Sancho had to go in public because not everyone.
Didn't have to. No.
Media not sufficient so on Sancho's character, and the media have got a part to play in this as well. But we could do another show on them as well. I mean, the fact that we were losing the other day and then they decided to put something out of Martial, I was like, what is going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Happens all the time, man. This is why I always ask for the fan base to be more united, man. And excuse the pun, but genuinely because.
We could just rubbish that off, innit? We could be like that rubbish, yeah.
We give the media room to utilize our emotional takes rather than our logical ones. And we do it all the time. And it gets pushed, and narratives and the fan base are in disarray. It's united, man. You've got to have some self-control at some point to go, okay, this like I said to you lot, I've got no issue sitting here drilling Ten Hag for things that Ten Hag is accountable for, and only him. It has nothing to do with anyone else. But I will not sit here just because I'm to a level where I'm so frustrated that even if Ten Hag's got 5% to deal with, got 5% of accountability for a situation, then it's all going to be on him as well. I'm not doing that because you've got to have some level, because there are some people in this club that it's not just the manager or players or board. Some people have to be held accountable, so that if we hold the right people accountable in the right areas, then at least we're being more fair to go, our whole club is a mess, sort it out. If it's the board, sort the board out. Let's put some heat on the board. If it's the manager, let's put the heat on the manager. Let's do it in the right area and let's be critical. That, for me, is where I push back on. And I think people struggle with that because nowadays it's either you have to be far left and far right. But, yeah,
well,
who am I?
You know what? It's a really good point because what people do is they, rather than the bigger issue, this is life as well, rather than the bigger issue, people get sidetracked by the little mini ones that the media, both inside and outside of football, just in general life, politics tends to throw in the way because it's like distract them with that.
Distract them away,
yeah. It's the way it is, yeah. Well, to kind of wrap this, to kind of end on a concluding thing, like what can we achieve this season with the midfield and attack? What do you? Let's start with what are you looking for this season realistically? Because you're a man that's very realistic like me. I mean, me and you both look at a team sheet and a squad and we go, okay, cool. Rather than bringing my emotions into it, what do we think with the profiles that we've got, with the quality that we've got, what do we think we can achieve? Do you think we can score more than 58 goals this season?
No.
Do you think we will? You think it's going to be worse? Okay.
I don't think over the season, then yes, season wise, yes, but in terms of Premier League, no.
The thing as well. Let's go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, not in the Premier. As far as the Premier League, I mean, 58 goals in the Premier League season is awful for Man United. I'll be very, very honest. Last season's terrible. But do I believe we could do it this season? I think we'll be on less goals this season, unless we have some miraculous 7-0s, 5-1s.
Well, Niji, then it starts to beg. If we're going to go completely logical on this, let's just say we score 50 goals. What does the average team that scores 50 goals, where do they end up in the table? Obviously, I know it depends on how much you
concede as well. Yeah, I mean,
could we see could we see an 8th finish? Could we see something like that? It could end up like that this season. Yeah?
I think so. I think you're looking at 6th, man, for an absolute joke. I mean, I remember predicting
is that based on the inconsistencies of some of the top guys? Some of the guys lose sometimes and rare.
Even if they're
all winning on form, I think we're 8th to 10th. I think we're low.
Even if they're inconsistent, I still think we drop places based on goal differences. I think we could match some people's points, for example, to give them the benefit of the doubt, to go, they've dropped points, we've managed to gain some, but we're still dropping 7th or 8th down table based on goal difference. Our goal difference is shocking. And it furthers my point of Ten Hag was naive in the transfer market to do what he did and got rid of players, which he could have easily built off. It was the wrong time to prioritise the players, and I'll stand by that forever. It was the prediction I made. Mallow, I beg, mate, like you're running around like mad, crazy. Yeah, sorry about that.
For people locking into this and watching now, it's not like his housemate or anything. That's his cat, bro. He's literally just trashing the house. He's on the stream.
Probably like, man, just ran up the wall, fam. I'm not least ran up the wall and ran out. It's mad.
Well, yeah, no, good point. Do you think we'll end up with a plus? Has there ever been? Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, bro. Has there ever been? Young wizard, man. Has there ever been a United season where it's ended up with minus goal difference in the history of the club?
I don't think so. I
wouldn't know
off the top of my head because I don't look at that. But
maybe when we got relegated, maybe
minus goal difference. There's Manchester United as we know it, the brand, the name. Not in my lifetime, anyway. I don't think in my lifetime.
Do you think we could end up with a minus plus 1 plus 2? Do you think it's going to be really bad?
I don't think we'll end up with a minus for the simple fact that is, I'm banking on 2 or 3 players to stay fit for the rest of the season. One of them is Martinez. Obviously, Luke Shaw, of course, but Martinez bringing back in terms of bringing back. The other is Kobe Mino holding down that 6th role, because with him we can create more, we can execute the plan a lot more and have more opportunities in the final third.
We hold the ball back, we just control the ball a little bit better.
We break the lines, yeah. He absorbs pressure, so he absorbs the press, press resistant, holds 2 or 3 man off, pulls it out to one of the fullbacks, we're off for an attack.
And 8 times out of 10 he makes that pass the right way.
And he's doing it, yes.
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
So for me, if he stays fit, cool. The other one, unsurprisingly, is Diallo. The reason I've said Diallo, not because I genuinely have a favoritism for him, but my favoritism doesn't come because of he's from Africa or because he's a black Donny, because he looks sick on the ball. His genuine overall game, I have stated for the longest, is elite for the age that he is. He has a high IQ as he plays like a mature player. The same way I give props to Kobe Mino 2 seasons ago, Leon, is the same way he said about, as soon as I saw him, I said, raw. I've just seen some things I don't see adults do on the pitch when I'm coaching. I don't see it.
Well,
And he's done it.
Meiji, you said it about 5 minutes ago. You said you would have Diallo and Sancho. I know what that looks like. I know that man cut in and they find that little ball, because what they do is they cross in that ball. Sorry, they feed that ball into the box that cuts 3 players out straight away. I know exactly what you're thinking.
That's it, yeah.
And that's
and also that is a goal threat on his right foot and left foot, Leon. Creative wise, he will whip balls in for Højlund, so you'll get the runners. So you'll get a multitude of, how can I put it, of work on that right wing, in terms of he'll drift past him and he'll come on the inside. Do you know what I mean? He will have the opportunity to take on him, and with his right foot as well. Whether he's got the same work rate and output, that's something I think he'd have to work on in terms of Anthony, in terms of the tracking back. We saw massively today with Anthony's tracking back. His work was impeccable, in my opinion. Absolutely solid. The tackles he was putting in.
Do you think
big slide tackles, the lot, man. He was.
Do you think Ten Hag would stunt his game a little bit by saying, I'm not happy with you tracking back. I know you can do that before, but I need to do everything. Do you know what I mean? Or do you think that?
No, I don't think that's the scenario.
Do you think he benefits from doing that anyway? It adds to his game. Like, what do you?
I don't. What is it in terms of Anthony? Sorry, or Diallo?
I feel like Ten Hag prioritizes a winger that works both ways, and I feel like
Diallo
might be more prone to. But I haven't watched him defensively whether he gets back, and because sometimes sometimes you don't have to get a tackle in. It's just positionally being in the right place and just.
He does. He puts a shift in, and okay. I went to see him on the first pre-season of last season. He played. Diallo scored as well. And the game was so boring, bro. It's actually the game when Ronaldo walked off with Diallo for whatever reason. And it was a legit reason, but it just looked mad. Media went with it. And Diallo, he scored, but the work rate he was putting in to put challenges in it, he loves the game. He's your you know them African ballers who just go out and always wants the ball, even if he has to go chase it himself. He's literally that player, man. Whether I feel like that can be homed in after 10, 11 games with him, just to get back in position, do your work rate. Whether he gets bypassed and skinned is another thing, because that can happen as a winger. But just being in the positions like you're saying, I think that's an easy thing to coach a player like Diallo. So I would like to see him get that run out. And of course, he's also left-footed. His mate dominant foot is left foot. He's a right winger, right wing, left foot. That's a profile for Ten Hag.
And he does that cheeky thing where he kind of goes near the box, then he cuts in and just takes 2 players out. He goes in between both of them, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he's
got the wing back and the winger back there. He just cuts in between, and his footwork's too good to challenge him.
It's Martial Messi-esque the way he dribbles. I'm not saying he's those levels. He's that type of profile.
That's a good comparison. That's a very good comparison. Yeah. The ball sticks. The ball sticks with him.
So even if he's in, let's say he's been backed up in midfield,
he's got that driving ability to step in a little bit and drive either down the byline. Yeah. So that's what I love about him. When I seen him at Sunderland, I was thinking, because I went and watched quite a few games. Like I watched quite a few highlights of him. I know highlights is not the full story, but when they said young player of the year at Sunderland or player of the year at Sunderland, and I thought, what's he actually been doing? And I watched some of them, and I thought, okay, there's a consistency to his game here. Like,
I saw a couple of 90 minutes games of him. Was like
he just jinks in and out. It's a bit messy-esque. Yeah.
And you know what? United fans would love that player as well because he's exciting. So not only can he fit the profile of what Ten Hag wants, but he's exciting to watch. Like it or not, you want to come to the theatre to be entertained, and he would do that, man. Goals, right foot, left foot. I mean, his first goal for United was that header, that ball over the top by Zlatan, I think. Ran between two big men. Ran between 2 big men, flicked the ball over there. I said, this guy's running in behind between defenders who are like double his size.
It was the tackle. It was the run and the attacking position in this.
I'm just like, you're gonna watch these things. You have to. You can't. That's not just some look and go, oh, he's just got a lucky header. No, think about the process of making that run, timing that jump between defense, and then lobbing a keeper with the head. Come on, man. Baller. He's ready. He just needs time. He just needs to jump the gym a couple of times. I'm okay if he gets bars a couple of times, but the thing about him as well, because he's got that low center of gravity, he'll probably pull more fouls than he will actually lose the ball. And the main thing I was about to say is when he comes into midfield, let's say he goes back towards the goal, like he receives the ball short, because like you've just said, he's great with the ball at his feet. He's very rarely going to lose that ball. He'll probably work his way out of a tight situation and give it, or he's going to get fouled.
He can turn, he can go as well. He can do all that, yeah. He's quite.
Yeah, I just think he's someone.
I think him and Højlund are going to really enjoy it, and I'd love to see like Garnacho, Palestri, Diallo, and Højlund be the priorities this season up front.
Be the foreman.
I'm happy to sacrifice. Yeah, but I just feel like to come off the bat, I feel like if you teach him a tidy, simple game, I like it when he goes byline on the right and he crosses in because he always goes for the low. He always goes for the low, flashy cross rather than smashing it, and I take that over Rashford all day. But he hasn't. I don't think he's got the quality to be a Man United winger. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're going to see that. We'll see. But he might serve his purpose. Do you know what I mean? I think
if we get
sometimes what
Graham
you can
Potter
do
in
it.
like Musa once, do you know what I mean? You could get it, man. Potable. Do you know what I mean?
Wow,
Mad.
It's not Wednesday yet, people. But yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? That's coming. By the way, Naji's back on Mandem Talk this Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
TV, yeah. And it's let's just say that he's been out, not even with an injury. Let's just say he's been out. Let's just use this as an example. He's in a boxing gym. He's out of a commitment. He's been out. He's a commitment. You got a boxing. He's been out with a little cold. Once supposed to spar.
I've been fasting, man.
Wait. No, but I'm using a boxing analogy. Wanted to spar. Told that he had to stay at home. So it's not a case of you didn't want to do it. You get me? You were put in the position where the coach said,
"Yeah, man, always
don't come in." And then he's come back in and he said, "Yo, do you know what, guys? Anyone, I'm on it. 2-3 man in the ring at one time. Let's go." Do you know what I mean? So that's what he's on now. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the angle, man. That's the angle. Yeah, fatal 4-way wrestling, man. I'm ready.
Man said Royal Rumble is just any 20 man. Do you know what I mean? So
20 man, let's go. Yeah, swing.
I think Diallo is going to be big for us this season, but at the same time with Mino, we can't put too much emphasis and stress on these players. You've got to let them develop in their own time. So I think, from my perspective, what can we achieve with this season with our midfield and attack? I just agree with what you're saying, man. I agree with we're going to score less goals.
What do you want to happen? What do you think is achievable? What do you want to happen? What do you wish you could see? What do you think these players are capable of doing in your head? Genuinely, like if you look at them and go, "You're on form, you're on fire." That whatever front four you pick in terms of the cam as well, or your 2-8, whatever 5. What do you think that attacking output should be able to do?
I think with the players that we've got now, we should be scoring 2 or more goals a game. I'm not saying 3s and 4s, but I think 2 goals is a goal and a half. I think it's very realistic for this team.
I agree.
But the problem that you've got is because we don't have like Liverpool-esque forwards who basically when the midfield's lacking, like an Enzo, because I was on that You Will Never Talk Alone the other day. The guys that you brought me through to, shout out to Damo, and they don't rate Enzo going forward. They don't really rate Enzo. They just say he does a job, but they don't rate him.
Yeah,
like that. Do you know what I mean? They think that they're missing a 6, but their front 5 are so well. Ironically, today they weren't, but in most games they're so potent,
lethal, man.
They can just get away. That we don't have that. We don't have that potence. So I think 2 goals a game is realistic, and I think I want them to simplify the game. If the midfield are not going to provide it, the wingers have to step up now because our wingers have been slacking for a long, long time. Are these guys going to end the season with 5 to 10 assists each? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look great.
Horrible.
Yeah, it looks horrible. I mean, you've sent me I've got the goal scorers here, but Tommy at the top's hurting me. Let's go down wingers. Rashford 3 assists, Martial 1, Palestri 1.
And Palestri doesn't even play.
I mean, Wan-Bissaka's got 2. So if he can do it, no disrespect, but if he can provide them, get the balls in, then yeah, I want him to simplify the game. 2 or more goals, and I would like us. I'd like us to just believe more and just go for it. Even if we are like flashing it over the bar and it's like hitting the post. And do you know what I mean? Like, I'd like these players to be like, we're professional footballers. What did we do to get here? Because Man United's a big club. What did I do in my previous clubs where we didn't have the quality and we still created chances? I want them to just.
Find him.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we've done well if we get 6th this season. I think we've done all right if we do 6. Not done all right, but I think for where we are now. But it's mad. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Young Wizard, Newcastle are just as consistent as Spurs, and Spurs are Spursy. So the best United can get 5th. It's not a bad prediction. If you had to put your heart on it, where are we going to end up this season?
I mean, I was about to say, ironically, I did my prediction on Twitter a while back and said Man United top of the league. Just for jokes, but underneath, and I put that in. Yeah, I made sure it was understood. Do you know what I mean? This guy, wow, yeah, it was a joke, people. And before Leon,
wait.
go on.
Stop. Revamp that. What did you say? Man United top of the league?
There's a Man United top of the league, and before you cried and went
Neji. I know you can hear me, yeah? I'm going to bring you back in a set, Neji, but I wish I had that meme where it goes, what the hell? Neji, what's going on, fam? Neji, I know you can hear me. Take it off mute and answer the question. What's going on? You're still on mute, bro. Like what? I know you can't because you put yourself on mute.
there you go.
What the hell? Why did you say top of the league when you wait? You just
there you go. He's getting to the question now. He's sunk in now.
Yeah,
that's the question.
Why
did I say? Wait. Go on.
Okay. So we've got less quality. So Ten Hag's prioritized the wrong players.
Just relax your mind.
Concede more and score
wait.
less.
No, stop. You're doing too much. Relax your mind and just listen. Because you're deep in it because you've been triggering and it's mad. And I said next to it, next to Man United was like a laughing face, like lol, right? So therefore I'm taking the piss. That's all it was. But you just that's what I'm saying. Like it's mad. I'm sorry that you took that seriously, man. You just didn't let me say the lol bit at the end.
So basically, you just started triggering people on Twitter.
That's more time, just for absolute jokes.
More time, do you know?
For absolute jokes, yeah.
So what was your realistic prediction? I think I predicted.
Realistic prediction. I think it was about fifth. Yeah. I said fifth originally, but then I had a bit of hope and said fourth because I thought the players he's brought in with the players we've got from last season, I still think we could do a job. But I didn't expect Martinez to be out. It was massive. Obviously, the whole situation with Rashford, I didn't expect him to have a drought this early. I thought we could get some goals out of him, but he's got a purple patch. I'll be honest, I thought with Bruno, we're getting goals and assists. With Mason Mount there, I did think we'd probably at least do 40 GA between them both if it worked out, given we need to get that profile in midfield, but we didn't end up getting the 6, and it was like, I'm going to struggle seeing Mount do something great now or have a consistency.
So when that happened and Mount came in, you thought, bloody hell.
No, when Mount came in, I was asked about what I genuinely
and the no 6. You were thinking, "Wow, this changes."
Yeah, when there was no 6 and we didn't get it, and then we were after Amrabat for so long. I thought with Amrabat to get him, I think we got it. We could get something consistent going. It's just not worked out that way. So my prediction was fully off on that plank. It was gone. Do you know what I mean? Didn't even get a first step off the plank, but it was just straight into the sea. So yeah, it's just not turned out that way. And respectfully, like I said, the first 5 games of the season, it looked like we were going to be able to score goals, but we just couldn't take the chances. And what was hitting my head was that we ain't got clinical finishes. And I said, I don't know how many times I've had to repeat it, bro, but it's just falling on deaf ears. We'll create, please excuse me, sorry. We will create so much in the game, but we'll concede more. And I just need us to bag goals. So what's the point in creating if we're not going to finish? And that's literally what was going over in my head. We're not finishing. And then we're getting the handball situation, thinking, well, how's that not a penalty to Tottenham? There's your goal. Do you know what I mean? All these little things, they started to just get worse and worse and worse. So even things that had nothing to do with the manager, the system, or even the players, and we're getting shagged. And then I'm looking at us doing all the things that are right on the pitch and then still not putting the ball in the net. And I'm sitting there going, Ten Hag, man, clinical finishers. You've taken too much of a big step. You're playing your style of football. I can see it, but you've been naive, man. You've been naive because we aren't able to capitalize on the system you've put in, and it's going to break down. And this is when I said 3 steps backwards to go 5 forwards. I don't think you're going to get the chance to even get to your second step backward. This is your first step backwards, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't think you're going to get the time to do that. And this is the situation, man. So I just think, to your question, bro, I mean, right now, I'm hoping for 5th. Hope. Don't think we can. I think 6th is probably fair based on what we're seeing.
Is 5th Champions League? Have they confirmed that? They have, haven't they?
Is that because City won, didn't they? Yes, it would be, because City won the Champions League, so 5th would be UCL.
Me personally, I'm not bothered if we get Champions League or not. We're not ready.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Obviously, it's nice because you want to bragging rights with other teams and blah blah blah. But we're not ready. We're not ready.
Yeah,
whatsoever. Yeah, we're not ready. Yeah. I would take a season out of all of Europe personally. I'm with you. Out of all of Europe, yeah, I would.
I'm with you.
I feel like Chelsea, if they look back at the end of this season, they're going to benefit from that. I feel like they'll go into the next season after strengthening the window. Obviously, they got a mad guy who's buying all the players, but what Bowley's doing is just not.
He's literally trying to NBA the whole situation.
Yeah, but I think there will be a few players in that squad who develop from this season and they end up better next season. Some guys are saying are crap now. One game a week working with a coach, it can benefit if you've got the right coach there. So yeah, I think to be honest with you, if we get out of the season and we're sixth, if we have a plus. I'm not even going to say the goal difference. I'm going to say plus 10.
Go on.
It's horrible.
It's only a guess. It's only a guess. The worst that can happen is you get it wrong. That's it.
If we have a plus 15 goal difference, can't believe I'm saying that. This is disgusting.
I'd love that. 15,
you know. So far away from where we are. And the players that are supposed to be here long term have developed. Your Minos, possibly like trying to think who else is going to stay actually. Hoyland, Martinez. Maybe Mount. If a few of them are developed, like who are going to be here a bit longer term, then I'll take that. But right now, I don't know. I don't know where we see us going. To be honest with you, I think it can either go. We can either get the look, or it can really slip at this moment in time. Because let's be real, we've basically broke this whole thing down. Like the whole topic was what can we achieve this season with our midfield and attack. We've basically identified that if we strip it right back, more goals would give us a more chance of success, and we just can't see that at the moment. So exactly that. Mino's on a mad Melo's on a mad thing. Call him Mino, innit? Melo the Mino.
Come see Uncle Leon, man. Come on in.
Where is he?
He's here, man. Uncle Leon.
Yes, Melo.
Who's this? Do you want kisses? Go on, kisses. There you go. See?
No, we don't. No.
Yeah, give Leon an uncle.
No, allow that. You're moving nuts again. This guy.
Bro, I've got the videos of you. Listen, don't make me shit.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's on. I don't know what he's about to say. Yeah, people don't believe what he's saying in it. Anyway, we're going on to comment from Young Wizards. Yeah, Harry Redknapp tipped United to win the league this year too, so it's not crazy. But yeah, for me, that's it today. I'm gonna go jump on Rhino stream. I'm gonna go and invade that one for about half an hour or something.
Hey, people, let me tell you something that's mad though. Yeah, I've got videos of mine. Go on, tip me off now. Go on, dare you. It's with chess. All right, you're not bad. Yeah, safe. Videos of my man and my cat, bro. Listen, stored. Mad. You think that works, yeah? You think that works, yeah? You tried to mute, man, yeah?
Yo, people, thanks for watching the video, yeah?
Like, yes. You lot, see this cat? Go on then, let's hear it. My man's sitting down like a monk next to him, bro. Come in my yard, didn't even greet, man. Straight down, sat down like a monk. I got the video, but don't pull that. You've seen it.
Didn't greet. Man said didn't greet.
Like, all right. Straight face into the camera. Tell your audience right now, yeah? You never sat down, legs crossed like a monk, with your arm out, reaching out to my cat.
Yeah, that's normal, man. Do you know what I mean? So you're just making the animal feel comfortable in the environment.
No.
You're not a stranger. I don't know about the whole went into the house and didn't. Yeah, of course,
man. Bro, I've seen you following the cat every bro. The videos are there, innit? The videos are there.
Too much.
The videos are there, bro.
This is Real Talk United. This ain't Real Talk Cats. So like that's
true.
I think yeah, man.
Does everyone like the video? Everyone who's in, man.
Yeah. Do you know what? The likes are really good, to be fair. Young Wizard, big up yourself as well, man. Just big up the man, them.
Love, man.
We're gonna be back with. There's a couple of shows this week actually. I'm in talks with Sophia to do a little thing. I like Sophia Talks Football. She's good. Flawless as well. And there's a United panel starting this week. So when you're ready, Neji, we'll do some more bits as well. But listen, for now, where can people find you? Where can they follow you? And what have you got coming up?
Yeah, man. So Sunshine47, SONSHINE 47 on Twitter. That's mainly my football, and also you'll find me on TikTok as well. Most of my United videos on there, all of them. Anything to do with modeling, DJing, and daily life, Sunshine47, but it'll be Sunshine but IV, or just put NAG Fox, NAJEEFOX. You'll catch me on there as well on Instagram. And yeah, man, I've just come back from France. I've been fasting all week. I've had a 6-week fasting, 5 days of fasting, all complete now. So, world's greatest middleweight bowler rather than heavyweight at the moment. It's a bit mad.
Yeah, take that out.
We'll have to switch that for the man them talk, man. Definitely. But Yeah, man. Just been in France, modeling as well out there. Still training.
Big up.
Back in the athletics as well. So I'm gonna be trying to go for some serious mileage next year in the athletic scene. So I'm back competing and training. So if you want to follow that journey, that'll be all on Instagram as well.
People follow that, man. It's impressive, man. Throw a discus is not easy, the technique. So trust me.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So yeah, man, I'm about, man, and I'm working my way to try and get onto the Old Trafford pitch in the charity matches, the world's greatest heavyweight baller one day. So I'm gonna have to make that happen, man. Do you know what I mean? You'll see me. You just listen as a heavyweight, I'm a left winger. Make that make sense. Mad pace,
Right-footed, left-footed.
both.
Okay, man can play both. All right, cool.
Trust me.
Cool.
Some chat. Listen,
Cool.
you remember KS? Was it KS or RS back a day? Roll safe.
Yes.
And the man said I'm a triple threat. I sing, I dance.
Oh my god.
You know
Oh
what?
my god, with the leather jacket on and the trim. Oh my god, with the Eddie Murphy trim, that guy. Oh my, run up to that man in the street and that in the studio and that. Oh, this guy's moving nuts. RS was funny, man. What happened to RS? What the hell happened to RS?
I think RS did another program actually on the BBC. It was actually quite sick. It's more like a storyline though.
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it, yeah. And then he just fell off. I don't know where he's gone. So yeah.
I don't know where he is now though.
Man, that RS. But yeah, no, big up, man. People check it out. Make sure you drop him a follow because posts a lot of positive stuff. And also, it's good to support. And everyone's into sports, so having a look at like what you do in athletics is very interesting for people as well. High performance and your mindset, and do you know what I mean? There's stuff on your story and you post in your profile that's very beneficial and positive for people to follow. So yeah, 100%.
Appreciate that, man.
But yeah, guys,
on 30th of January in Manny. So if anyone's around in Manchester, shout me, man.
Oh, DJ. Blue Street Kitchen, yeah?
Yeah, Blue's Kitchen, man. We're there. 30th and the 27th or 29th, one of the two, in January. So, yeah, man, pop through, man. R&B vibes, strictly with the orchestra as well. Like, got a live orchestra that come through in there. Yeah, so yeah, man, shout me, man. I'm about.
Yeah, man, cool. And we've got some things cooking as well, so we'll reveal them as we go. I think we'll have a sit down over the next probably after. I don't know if we'll be able to get in before. We'll sit down. We're going to link up before Christmas. So yeah, we'll sit down. We'll talk about that and we'll get it done. But yeah, people, listen, if you got to the end of the video, make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe, and thanks for locking in. This is Real Talk United every Sunday at 8 p.m. and I'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully, Neji, the wanted posters are out. So hopefully this week, Mike